What's up, everybody? Unpwned here again. Alright, so this is going to be the first of a video series to help, I guess, beginners and new people understand how the game works. It's basically just going to be an overview of a basic understanding of how the classes work, how they're built, objectives on all three of the current maps, and just things to look out for and possibly help you out in the long run. So we got a screenshot here that I took of the default character page when you open any of the classes. Right here I have the Bloodstalker tank class from the Shadow School of Magic. Now what I want to go over here, I actually had a couple friends playing and I realized that some of these things aren't actually picked up on by everybody right off the bat. So let's get down to business. So first off, right here, you have your gear. These are 4 pieces of equipment. Whenever you are playing a match, the levels that your team and the Veiled Demon gains while playing, hence why you want to win the objectives to gain bonus XP and level up, is based on this gear right here. So when the game first starts, this very first piece of gear right here at the top, that will be your very first choice of 3 talents. Whenever your team hits level 2, it'll be the next one in line, level 3, and then finally level 4. Basically, these 4 pieces of equipment determine what talents you are going to pick from while in a match and your team levels up. Next, we have gems. You have 2 blue gems, 2 red gems, and now 2 prismatic gems. The blue gems, you can have the exact same types of blue and red gems, but the blue gems have a higher percentage or flat increase to defensive or support abilities, like say flat damage resist, flat health, increased AoE healing, increased targeted healing, stuff like that. The blue ones are going to have a higher base number. The red ones are offensive, so they are going to have an increase to targeted damage, AoE damage, if you're a Veiled Demon, breach damage, things of that nature. So if you want though, you can still stack all of the same type of gem in the blue and the red. So a lot of people were stacking like haste. So you could have 2 7.5% increase haste gems in the red slots. That gives you 15%. And then in the 2 blue slots, it will be half the amount. So if you have both blue slots slotted with haste, it'll be equivalent to 1 red slot, is currently how the numbers are. So that'll put you with about 22.5% increased haste. Haste increases your attack speed and your movement speed. Next, the prismatic gems, which were introduced in the last alpha. These gems do not give you flat stats. Instead, these gems are more like ability augments. Depending on the gem you put in, it will drastically or just somewhat change one of your abilities. For instance, let's go with, I mostly play the Veiled Demon, but let's go with the Chronomancer. Alright, maybe a lot of people know the Chronomancer abilities, saw a few of them running around. So one of the gems for the Chronomancer, for their AoE circle that they put on the ground that slows the Veiled Demon minions and everything, you can get a gem that will increase the duration of that circle by 5 seconds, but it also is going to have a 50% increased cooldown time. Now, for some people you might be wondering, well, why would you want to do this then if it's just an even 50 for 50 trade-off? Well, for 2 reasons. One, if it lasts longer, then it could be used in more specific moments of, say, in a boss fight when you really need to have that slow last 15 seconds compared to 10. And then on the other hand, if you have cooldown reduction on your gear or your gems, it's going to have much more of an impact because now the cooldown is longer, which means you're also going to knock off more time. There are gems so far for every ability that I was able to see for the Veil Demons and the classes. And some of them were drastic changes, and some of them were just basic changes like, oh, we'll increase the damage but reduce the duration, or increase the damage, reduce the cooldown time, or increase the cooldown time, or vice versa. Some of them increased the rate at which you would get it and then lowered the damage of it. The top right is your character level for the character that you are currently on, the class, not your total level. Below that are your stats. These stats are, it's going to show you your base health and then whatever stats you're getting from your gems over there. So as you can see with the gems, I currently have equipped on my Bloodstalker. I have 3250 HP, which is my base HP. And then I've got 9.5% damage resistance and a little over 30% ultimate accrual rate. So that means with my Bloodstalker, I'm basically taking 10% less damage from everything, and my ultimate is recharging 30% faster. Below that is some other stats, which I'm assuming they're probably going to add more of these stat categories as early access goes on, but you have matches played, which tells you how many times you've played a match with that class. Time played with that class, lifetime damage dealt with that class, which is pretty cool, and lifetime heroes downed, which I'm not really sure why that's showing up in the hero class, but yeah, that's pretty funny. Next, you have your abilities down in the bottom middle. You have your 1, 2, 3 abilities, your ultimate, and your signature ability. Now, your 1, 2, 3 and ultimate abilities can all be swapped out with other classes within your school of magic. So with this Bloodstalker, I can swap abilities with the Shadow Blade and the Nighthawk. The signature abilities can no longer be swapped. They were able to in previous alphas. So I'm glad that they locked those down. So that means it actually does matter what class you pick and play. They're locked to a signature ability. Now, your regular abilities become unlockable and swappable every 2 levels. At level 2, your first ability, 4, your second ability, 6, your third ability, 8, your ultimate ability, and then in the previous alphas at level 10, you were able to swap out your signature, but not anymore. So you're basically going to want to get every class to level 8 as soon as possible so you can then make and test all of the builds you could possibly want. So if your plan is to, say, play in the Dark School of Magic, then you're going to want to unlock the Reaper, the Necromancer, and the Lich. Level all of them up to 8, which is going to give you 12, total. You'll have 9 abilities to swap in and out for your first 3, and then you'll have 3 ultimates to choose from. And then depending on what signature you like the most, that's the class you'll go with, and then you can combine the other abilities from the other classes. And so that is a basic breakdown of this screen with this information and how to build your character. Alright everybody, and for this second screenshot, this is the after match summary. This basically just shows you what you got from your hard-earned victory or loss. So the one we're looking at now is actually a loss. It was a loss that took place, I believe, right before the boss room. So the loot and stuff that you see here is mediocre in terms of the quantity that you can get. In terms of the variety, it's pretty much maxed out. We have blue gem shards, red gem shards, prismatic gem shards, and 2 pieces of equipment. We received 74 gold, 37 booster bonus gold, 1,452 XP, 726 of it is from the booster. So basically, the booster, doubled what we got from this loss, which well, wasn't very much. If we wouldn't have had the booster going, we only would have gotten, 726 XP and 37 gold, which you need 400 gold just to make a single gem. So you would have to lose 10 of these matches to afford one gem. So the booster is actually going to be somewhat handy, to be honest. But still not needed. I mean, as long as you're playing the game, you're good to go. Now let's switch over to a screen where it shows a win. So, fun thing, I discovered another bug, which I'm sure the devs are probably aware of, but I'm going to record it anyway. So this is a match that I had won, and it was a pretty long match. And so you can see, compared to the previous loss match summary, I have way more gem shards. Almost double the amount of gem shards. Over double the amount of gold. Not quite double the amount of XP. However, it's not showing the booster bonus here, which I don't know if that's a bug and I'm actually getting the booster XP, or if the wins were counteracting the booster bonus, because I was expecting when I went back and would look at one of my win screens like this, that it was going to say gold, the win bonus of 25 gold, and then booster bonus. And then I thought the experience was going to show the win bonus of 500, and then the booster bonus should be 1,000, I would think. So I'm not really sure about that, but it's a new bug. I have it recorded. I'm gonna be making my own little video of bugs to give to one of the devs, and hopefully it helps out with anything. But anywho, this is a victory screen. You can see in terms of the loot, you still get a certain amount of each one of the gem shards and 2 pieces of equipment. Now, I did have a game. I'm not sure where it is. I have way too much footage to try and go searching for it. But there was a game where I actually got 3 pieces of equipment. I got 2 of the same item type. So, like right there where it shows the book and the vial, there was a number 2 in the bottom right corner of the vial stating that I got 2 of them. And when I went and checked my inventory, I actually did get 3 pieces of equipment. Now, that game lasted almost the max amount of time, but we won. We had about 22 seconds left on the boss timer before it ended, and we won. So this seems to be about the max amount of XP that you could probably have gained from a win during that last alpha. But that's about it. This was the first video of Breach for beginners. Woo! Hopefully it helps somebody. I'm trying to literally cover the very basics. So for a lot of you, this is probably not going to be helpful information, but based on some of the people I was partied up with and they didn't know a lot of this stuff, I figured why not make it, get it out there. If it helps, it helps. If it doesn't, I'm sorry. You might have just wasted like 13 minutes of your time if you didn't skip through this. But hope you guys have a good day. Catch you in early access.